2025 is almost done, and with it, another BL year comes to an end. Feels like the right moment to drop my end of year favorites. To sum up this BL year, China came to conquer. They ate everyone's lunch with their BL comebacks. Japan delivered some of the best BL content I've seen, no doubt about it. And Thailand multiplied their game tenfold compared to previous years. And Korea, well, let's just say I'm embarrassed for them. Now, here's how I ranked these shows. Number 1 is storyline. Was it gripping? Did characters actually grow? Was it a story with depth or just noise? Number 2, chemistry. Did I feel every interaction? Were there moments real enough to hit me emotionally? Did I care? And finally, production quality. Did the visuals and direction support the story, or did it look like it was filmed on 20 Thai baht budget? So, with that out of the way, here's my list of completed BL series this year that you need to watch. And hey, pause this video right now, predict my number 1 pick in the comments, and if you get it right, you will get a cookie from me. So let's get into it. Standing proudly at number 15 is the Japanese series Depth of Field. I absolutely loved watching Hayakawa's journey from self-hating teenager desperate just to fit in and be liked to a confident adult unapologetically chasing his dreams no matter who it steps on. His kind of obsessive love for Kono seeps through every scene, making him incredibly relatable as a character. There's no steamy action between Kono and Hayakawa here, but the little moments are way more powerful and intimate than any NC scenes could be. Like when Kono makes Hayakawa drink beer straight from his can and then takes a sip himself. My inner fangirl was losing it. And I loved how Kono slowly realized his feelings weren't just friendly, he threw caution to the wind and just went for it. All in all, it was a beautiful show and I'm recommending it to everyone. Number 14 is the Japanese BL The Proper Way to Write Love. From the moment I learned this manga was written by Uritsu Tanaka, who also created Happy of the End, I knew I was going to like it. I love her writing because she brings to life characters who are deep and relatable in an incredibly heartfelt way. Her stories are slice of life at their core, focusing on outcasts and turning them into precious, lovable people. This series is no different. Hiroshi and Natsuo are teenage outcasts, one nerdy, one a delinquent, and because of assumptions, Hiroshi misunderstood Natsuo's crush on him. As adults, they are contributing members of society but still carry the self-image they had as teens. When they find each other again, they slowly come to understand one another. Watching that was beautiful and heartwarming. Also, I'm a sucker for short tops and taller bottoms in BL, and this one delivered, which is a big plus. Number 13 goes to Ball Boy Tactics, and honestly, this is probably the only Korean BL I've truly liked so far. I dare anyone come to me and say I'm a fluffy BL hater, because I'm absolutely not. Loving Ball Boy Tactics proves that if the story is well done and has genuine heartfelt interactions, I'm going to love it no matter what. At first glance, it looks like just another rom-com BL. But where it stands out is in the surprisingly fresh character dynamics and raw vulnerability. Like how Jongwoo tells his friends he's bi and Jiwon is shocked but also inspired, gaining the strength to live freely too. I like that they're both leaders in their sports and understand each other's strengths and fears. These are the kind of small details that matter to me in a show. And can we talk about their intense chemistry? Their NC scenes were tender, emotional, and spicy all at once. This show raised the Korean BL standard this year, while unfortunately others dragged it down. Number 12 is Tempo, and it's honestly the only BL from GMM TV I've really liked this year, even though half of it aired last year. What a shame, GMM TV, what an utter shame. 3 things made the series truly shine for me. First, the most natural, genuine, and heartfelt chemistry between the leads William and Est. Their feelings for each other were obvious even in moments when they weren't speaking. I felt it in the way they looked at each other, how they behaved around each other. Those quiet, subtle moments had their chemistry glowing. Second, the scale of the show. This wasn't a BL you could pull off on a tiny budget because it focused on the lives of top idols. I'm glad GMM TV recognized that and made the sets look realistic. The concert scene had massive crowds that really showed how popular the group was. And third, the side characters. Everyone had a role that mattered, they weren't just background noise or tossed aside. That's why I loved Tempo and how well it was directed. Now I'm desperate for more William and Est next year. Number 11 is the Chinese BL ABO Desire, the first Omegaverse BL in the fandom. And for the millionth time, no, it's not Bit Babe, it's Desire and only Desire. Now, the reason it's at number 11 on my list and not higher is because it completely cast aside its second couple like they were nothing. Even though it was marketed as a double male lead series, I've read parts of the novel and knew that Shen Wenglang and Gao Tu's story was smaller compared to the main couples. But if that's the case, they shouldn't have been promoted as equals. It gave viewers false hope that their story would get the same importance. Actually, they didn't even include what was in the novel about them, just cruelly cutting off their storyline with no satisfying ending. But that said, I absolutely fell in love with all the characters in the series. Watching it through the summer felt like a weekly treat and my Omegaverse fantasy came to life. Even though it was pure fantasy, parts of it felt surprisingly real. This series gave me a lot of joy and happiness and it will always be a core memory in my BL watching journey. Now we are in the top 10 and let me introduce number 10 to you. Top Form Series. What a way to adapt one of the most famous Japanese mangas and animes, Dakaichi, to fit Thai sensibilities. I absolutely loved this show mainly because of Smart and Boom's undeniable chemistry. I could never imagine Boom as a bottom, but the way he seamlessly fit into the role of Takato or Akin just shows how good he is as an actor. I really appreciate how the director tried their best to keep the Japanese style, from the sets to the overall look and costumes of the actors, while still making it utterly Thai. I honestly wish they hadn't completely morally washed Junta's character because that was part of his charm. It made Jin's character a bit one-dimensional for me. But overall, it was such an entertaining ride from start to finish. 131 really stepped up their game this year. I enjoyed every single series they released, but Love in the Moonlight just captured my heart like no other. I grew up watching Bollywood TV serials with my mother, so Lacan-style shows are totally my jam. I love all the melodrama, the campy villains, the tears, the struggles. I love immersing myself in the world they create. Following Sasin and Sangkyao's love story was such a treat from start to finish. I appreciated how they kept the characters and behaviors true to the 1960s setting. Each episode had me on the edge of my seat, and I loved how they kept the suspense about whether Sasin and Sangkyao would end up together until the very last episode. That kept me glued through every episode. I hated when characters get together too quickly because I lose interest fast. But the way their story was woven kept me tuning in for more. Every actor nailed their role perfectly. Except for the granny maybe. She looked and acted a bit fake. But other than that, this show is a solid 10 out of 10 for me. Revenged Love came roaring into our lives this year and changed the Chinese BL game forever. China is finally fully back in the BL scene and getting a full-length 24-episode Chinese BL is such a huge achievement this year that I want to give this series a round of applause just for that. I don't know how they managed it, but I felt chemistry everywhere between everyone in this series. But the main couple absolutely ate and left no crumbs. Their chemistry was off the charts, outrageously sexy, making me gasp for air. I'm still a big fan of the OG Falling in Love with My Rival series from 2015. because that one is like more of an authentic portrayal of the novel. But this one felt more palatable for the general audience, I think. I didn't rate it higher because certain scenes in the last couple of episodes pulled me out of the main couple's story and I felt disconnected. But overall, I think Revenge Love made my BL summer a little more memorable. Number 7 is the Japanese BL The Journey to Killing You. I can't help it, guys. I just love Yakuza BLs, and the fact that we have so few of them is a crime against my humanity. I've read the manga of this series, and it's crazy how accurately they adapted it, from the casting and characterization to the set design and dialogues. Each panel is exactly replicated from the manga. I loved the overall vibe of the series. It was dark, no doubt, but had moments of deep intimacy and vulnerability between the two main characters that made me fall for them. Not to mention the dialogues between them were the absolute Fujoshi's dream. Orajima's backstory made my heart hurt for him, and I loved that the man he supposedly hated didn't hesitate to put his own life in danger for him. That healed the part of Orajima that had felt neglected and abandoned his whole life. The ending made me so happy, and I just feel like this series was a complete package. When It Rains, It Pours released in January this year, and the fact that I still remember every scene and every interaction between the main characters Kazuaki and Sei just shows the impact it had on me. The concept is so fresh. I don't think we've seen a series like this that mirrors the reality of so many adult couples in long-term relationships. I loved how the director used symbolism throughout the series. The rain mirroring the characters' emotions, the art installation in that abandoned museum they visit, conveying how they feel inside. Their awkward first time together was so real. Two acquaintances doing it for the first time, cheating on their partners. The guilt was written all over their faces, but so was the satisfaction of finally meeting someone who understood them. The authenticity in the portrayal of Kazuaki and Sei won my heart, and that's why this series ranks so high on my favorites list. Number 5 goes to none other than probably this year's best horror BL, Kimejira the series. Guys, I know a lot of my viewers will be disappointed to see me rate it at number 5, so hear me out. First off, Kimejira is probably the only Domundi production I've truly liked so far and actually finished. All the others weren't my taste, some were too cringe, others dragged. But this one kept my attention from start to finish. I'm so happy the company invested in some of the best VFX and CGI I've seen in BL yet. The production was top notch. I absolutely loved every character in the series, and it takes real skill and expertise to make viewers not hate the villain. The way they showed Rampung's backstory made me weep. My heart hurt watching her story and understanding why her spirit became so bitter and lingered for so many years. The second lead couple, Jet and Chan, were a lovely addition, and without them, Kimejira would have felt incomplete. The little boys were sweet and lovable. Now, my only issue was that I couldn't feel much romantic tension between Beam and Kim. Their NC scene at the end was a snooze fest. And because of how badly they slipped up there, their whole dynamic felt kind of flat for me. That's why Kimejira sits at number 5 on my list. But still, I'll say Kimejira is the top Thai production this year. Number 4 goes to the Thai BL The Bangkok Boys, a series I've been talking about non-stop for months now. I'm just completely hooked. This is the first time I've seen Thai BL makers not downplay the dark and gritty premise of a BL. The Bangkok Boys is a true and raw representation of how underground crime and drug gangs operate, how they control big cities like Bangkok. I love that they let the viewers experience all the danger, the fights, and the crime world of that city. The fact that no other production has even attempted something like this, showing us the dark reality of drug issues and gang wars in Thailand, is absolutely crazy to me. Tape Vorachai is such an underrated actor. I don't get how big companies don't recognize his talent. He did an amazing job portraying Sun, showing how he rises from underdog to respected gang leader by both members and the public. From losing everything, including his father and his best friend and crush, to saving his sister, falling for a broken man, and having it all. What a journey it was. And I loved following him every episode. I cannot wait for season 2 and for Sun to be back on our screens. Station that literally kills the characters. That's just my taste as a yaoi girl. POC has done it again with Shine this year. What a clear standout among the many mediocre Thai BLs we've seen. The rich historical backdrop, nuanced storytelling, political struggle, and two tender love stories blossoming amidst all the turmoil. Shine captivated me as a mature BL watcher and shook up the Thai BL industry. Even before it finished, it was winning awards left, right, and center. There's a reason I get annoyed when fans make excuses for certain actors. Because look at the hard work everyone put into Shine. Mile completely transformed his physical appearance for this role. His mannerisms, everything. I couldn't believe it was the same Mile from Kin Porsche. Apo spoke French like a native. I can only imagine how hard he must have worked to learn French in such a short amount of time. Son Yuke and Euro, both established Lacon actors, were doing their first BL here, and they crushed their characters. They single-handedly outshined actors who've been in the BL industry for over 10 years. There was no awkwardness or inhibition in their acting, and they made their characters feel incredibly authentic. Even the side characters were not neglected, they were given their own moments to shine. Overall, Shine had a huge impact on me this year, and that's why it's number 2 on my list. And the best BL of this year award goes to Gel Boys, the hands down number 1 in my heart. I know it's a bold claim with so many great BLs coming out this year, but when I really sit down and think about my favorites, everything else just falls short in some way. Gel Boys, it lodged itself into my heart and made itself at home there. I genuinely do not think any other BL will top it this year. I honestly feel some kind of connection with the director Boss Kuno. It's like he really gets me, like he understands my vision. Whatever series he makes, I feel like my own storytelling and my inner world came alive in those shows. Whether it's Sunset About You or Paradise of Thorns, he has this incredible way of making stories that are resonating and relatable, even if your life isn't exactly like the characters. There's always some feeling, some conflict, some emotion that hits close to home. All his narratives are character-driven, and he has this keen eye of capturing those unspoken, subtle moments between characters. He makes you feel what they're feeling, every anger, every longing, every heartbreak. I got completely lost in the stories of Chien Fomod and Babin Bua, even though I'm not the same age or background as them. His camera work, his directing style, everything is so intimate that you're totally transported into the world he creates. And I just know if Boss Kuno is behind something, it's going to be my number 1 every single year, no question. And that's a wrap on my top 15 BLs of this year. Honestly, I only planned to do a top 10, but my Instagram lovelies insisted I go for 15, and I'm so glad I listened. I have so many favorites this year that squeezing them into just 10 would be impossible. I know some of you might be disappointed that I didn't rank your favorites higher, but hey, that's the beauty of taste, right? Let me know what you think of this list and how you would rate these shows. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you soon with a brand new